Today on Deep Dive, we're going to be looking at DC Comics Mr. Miracle #1. What's the secret behind this super escape artist? Let's flip some pages and find out. Hello everyone, my name is Devin, also known as DH Artist, and welcome back to my Deep Dive series. When artist Jack Kirby left Marvel in 1970, he joined DC to work on several original titles, such as New Gods, The Forever People, and today's hero, Mr. Miracle. They were part of a story arc called The Fourth World, a storyline told through a meta-series of connected comic books from 1970 to 1973. Now, even though this can be viewed on your phone or computer, try casting it onto your TV so you can really see the detail and quality of the book. Remember that since each book is from my own collection, you can expect their conditions to vary. Today's issue is in nice condition, so there won't be anything to detract from the story. If you enjoy these types of videos and want to see more content like it, check out some of my other deep dives. I've covered issues like Detective Comics number 359, Amazing Spider-Man number 102, Special Marvel Edition number 15, and Doom Patrol number 86, featuring an exclusive look at some of my father's Aurora Universal Monster model kits. For a complete list of my videos, visit the organized playlists on my channel. I post new comics each week, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss another issue. Mr. Miracle #1 was published in April of 1971. Editor was Jack Kirby. Cover artists were Jack Kirby and Vince Colletta. The story, titled Murder Missile Trap, was written and penciled by Jack Kirby and inked by Vince Colletta. The book consists of 32 pages with a cover price of 15 cents. Today's story begins when Scott Free comes upon Thaddeus Brown, aka Mr. Miracle, and his assistant Oberon while in the process of rehearsing an escape stunt. Mr. Miracle is sealed in a wooden box when Oberon sets it on fire. Shocked by the spectacle, Scott tries to put the fire out, but Mr. Miracle breaks free without a scratch on him. Impressed by the presentation, Scott introduces himself to the duo. As they exchange pleasantries, some inner gang thugs roll up on them and begin to threaten Thaddeus. Wanting to help out his friends, Scott causes a distraction and trades punches with the gangsters. Having been beaten, the goons flee back to headquarters, and Mr. Miracle explains to Scott that their boss isn't going to be happy. And he was right, for at that very moment in the great city of Metropolis, the intergang mob boss named Steelhand receives word that his thugs were roughed up. Fearful of losing his influence, he vows to take personal charge of the matter and strike back against Mr. Miracle. Meanwhile, Scott has been invited to the home of Mr. Miracle, and he certainly couldn't refuse, not while the danger of the intergang looms over them. Mr. Miracle shows Scott a collection of his early escape exploits, when he performed under the guise of the Great Thaddeus. He later explains that the stage name of Mr. Miracle was his late son's idea, and he helped bring the art of escape into a new decade. Thaddeus tells Scott that he's been planning a dangerous act. Scott offers to help improve it and make it less dangerous. Since there isn't anything new that he could possibly teach Mr. Miracle, Thaddeus has Scott demonstrate his own abilities on a simple body lock of chains. After a brief moment, and without much movement, Scott calmly breaks the chains into thousands of pieces. Scott shows them both that he used intense magnetic repulsors to perform the trick. But when Oberon pleads with Mr. Miracle to take Scott's help, he declines, saying that every professional must live or die by his own methods. The next day, as Mr. Miracle prepares to practice his most dangerous act yet, Steelhand and his sniper prepare to strike. With everything in place, Oberon releases a giant metal sphere, sending it in the direction of the restrained Mr. Miracle. Watching from a safe distance, Scott hears a piercing sound and feels death streak past him, right towards Mr. Miracle. Some of the fun advertising found within this issue was a full-page ad for Power Slicks Fat Tires from Aurora. There's a double-page spread from the Columbia Record Club, and there's a full-page ad for the Monster Fan Club, where new members get a giant life-size monster and 3 free monster masks. Sensing something is wrong, Scott knocks the oncoming sphere away with a mystery force emanating from his hand. He then attends to Mr. Miracle. Placing him on the ground, Scott finds that Thaddeus was struck by a sniper's bullet, and Oberon suspects that this was the work of Steelhand. A few days later, at his Metropolis hideout, we see the crime boss Steelhand testing his strength in an arm wrestling contest. With Steelhand and his goon distracted, unbelievably Mr. Miracle climbs in through the window behind them, and with the element of surprise, springs into battle. Mr. Miracle fights valiantly, but when Steelhand's backup arrives, they quickly overpower him and knock him unconscious. Some time later, Mr. Miracle is awakened by the monotone voice of a countdown computer, only to find that he's been strapped to the top of a missile. With only seconds to spare, Mr. Miracle fumbles with his hands, and as the rocket lifts off climbing skyward, it blows up, creating a tremendous explosion. Feeling victorious, Steelhand returns to his office, but as he opens the door, he's stopped in his tracks, for sitting at his desk is none other than Mr. Miracle. Unable to believe his eyes, Steelhand karate chops his desk and charges at Mr. Miracle. Using the hypersound intensifiers hidden within his gloves, Mr. Miracle knocks Steelhand back. He then subdues the menace with his compact cocoon spinner, binding him in yards of secure plastic. With the police on hand, Oberon joins Mr. Miracle by his side, revealing that Scott Free has now taken the secret identity. Together, him and Oberon will continue the fantastic feats of Mr. Miracle, the super escape artist. Here we have a brief article by Marvin Wolfman, recalling a meeting he had with Jack Kirby nearly 4 years prior to the release of this issue. While you can find this article and other DC comics printed around this time, as well as through a basic Google search online, I'll share it in the community section of my channel if you'd like to read it later. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive. If there's a particular issue or comic you'd like me to flip, drop it down in the comments section and I'll see if I can add it to my pull box. If you enjoy these types of videos, please show your support by subscribing to my channel. As always, please consider liking and feel free to share this video. And until next time, Deep Divers, thanks for watching.